that's okay. I press the OK button.
Yes.
And then do I click update? And I think we are now live on the video. Hello, visual people that can see us visually.
Hello, world.
Hello.
Welcome to us.
We made it to we made it to the live. There we go. And now I'm in the middle, and now it's all better. Welcome to XR. Wait, I'm not mirrored. Welcome to XRP.
Oh, hold on. Let's see. There you go.
Welcome to XRP. If you didn't know where you were, we put it on our clothes too.
You do now. If you, I know. I have notes. I mean, I'm prepared. I know this isn't off the cuff, folks. This is a professional, top notch presentation.
Craig even listens to the tracks before the show.
I do
everything.
I do. So, impressive. At least the first, I'm like a record producer, right? I give it the first 30 seconds. If it doesn't wow me, it's like, well, I don't know. But 9 times out of 10, man, I got it right away. It's like, oh, this song is great.
That's good to know. That's good to know.
I'm sorry, go right ahead. I was going to say I have all kinds of life updates. I have all kinds of stuff I can talk about today.
I mean, yeah, we're good to go, really. I'm actually quite boring. Well, I should say I wasn't boring. I had a weekend with the Bug Clan, which is always a good thing.
You did. That show on Saturday was wonderful.
Was it actually?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yep. Got to see you and the Bogman doing all the behind the scenes stuff, which was pretty much him typing with one finger. Where's the camera? Him typing with one finger and you doing whatever it is you do. It was great.
Yeah.
So he types exactly like I do, which I found pretty funny.
Yeah, it is quite fun to watch. See, this is why in the Live from the Bog show, his replies feel like they're 10 minutes out of time.
Yeah, I figured that much.
Because not only is he typing, but he's trying to host the show as well. It's quite fun to watch him panic.
They should probably figure out is Applebeard a faster typist than he is? Maybe he should.
Oh no! No!
He's worse. He's worse. No. Oh Lord!
Applebeard barely knows what a computer is.
Oh well, he's much better at being a bard.
I mean, bear in mind, I had to sign up for Applebeard's XRP account with my email because he doesn't have an email. He doesn't understand what it is.
That's okay. He's probably better off than most of us then.
Yeah, he can text. He texts me occasionally.
Okay,
but he texts me off like it's an old 1 to 9 keypad phone.
Oh, like one of those flip phones?
Yeah. Well, no, it's not a flip phone. It's not that good.
Not that bad. Oh, not that good.
It's like the one half of a flip phone.
Oh, gee. Okay. Oh, those are
exposed.
Old.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, those are old.
I mean, it's basically a Nokia 3310, but worse.
Yeah,
somehow.
Now, is he older than the Bogman? Are you privy to that kind of information?
I think the Bogman is the oldest of the group. Maybe I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I wouldn't want to insult one or other of them.
God, no. Heaven forbid. Heaven forbid.
I'm not going to dictate who the oldest in the show is because, they can fight that out in the Live from the Bog on Tuesday. After them on Tuesday, that'll be fun.
I should do that. Yeah, because actually, your dad kind of upsets me because I kind of want to have the title of being the grand old man of XRP, but damn it, he's older than I am, so I really can't claim that.
You're the oldest musician on XRP, probably, maybe.
Oh, your dad plays the ukulele though. Maybe not well. I don't know.
My dad has a ukulele. We almost decided to be in a band, and then I moved far away. And honestly, it was nothing to do with being in a ukulele band with my dad. Honest, I promise you.
Really?
It might have had a little bit to do with it. No,
yeah. See.
But it's good. He came up. We ate lots of food as always. They just came back from Spain. They're off the bog somehow. We're digging up the whole of the bog and we're moving it to Spain somehow. So
really?
that's gonna be interesting. Yeah,
I'll have to change the name of his show. I mean, did they have bogs in Spain?
No, it'll be live from the
plains or something, or is he by the ocean? Maybe he's like live from the shore, or the coastline, or something, or
because that's not boggy enough for Bogman.
Well, then he has to change his name too.
Yeah, see, this is the problem. This is why we're going to have to try and transport the whole bog somehow.
This is going to be hard.
We were thinking about putting it on the back of a whale and just swimming it over.
Just swimming it over. We might have to have a contest, like rename the Bogman.
I don't think it'd take to that, to be honest. I mean,
probably wouldn't.
The Bogman has been the Bogman since I was a child. This isn't just a radio handle, I hasten to add. This is like years and years and years of
and I suppose the bog isn't an actual physical place, it's a state of mind.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
But you're also kind of wrong, because it is a physical place. I don't know why I said you're not wrong.
You're wrong and kind of wrong at the same time, actually.
Yeah.
Well, good. So that was good. And you had a fun weekend. That was cool.
Yeah, it was good. We learned a lot of new music as well. In fact, I think I put something in my favorites list that I might cram on later.
Cool.
And loads of excitement. We did our birthday show last week.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was fun. Playing all of our own stuff and being entirely self-indulgent.
Yeah, well, music is music. I mean, people still have something to listen to. That's the main thing, And
as long as you like ours, music's music. As long as you like ours, you're fine.
Well, that's the whole. I mean, you figure you tune into a music channel. I mean, we're not technically a radio show. We're not really on the radio.
I mean, we could be if we really wanted to be.
Do we want to be?
It would cost a lot of money, and we wouldn't be able to say fuck.
Well, what fun is that?
I don't know.
Shit.
See, I realize a lot of people like back in the day was like, oh, we like XRP because it's edgy. They deal with like harder topics and they swear a bit, and it's okay, but it's not like annoyingly excessive swearing. And I realized we've been really fucking tame recently.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's not a lot of real off-color stuff. There used to be some pretty deviant, behavior in the chat box, like a year ago or so. Yeah, we have calmed down quite a bit, I think.
It's like we grew up and put on big boy pants.
Well, speak for yourself.
I don't know whether I like it, to be honest. Yeah,
I hate big boy pants because they're bigger and they fall off. It's just not good. It's terrible. But I don't know. But I can talk about a couple things, I guess, in my recent whatever. I started playing God of War 1 last night, PlayStation 2.
Finally.
And you know something? I got stuck right away. There's this one part, you're on a boat, and these archers are firing at you, and you got this like crate you got to kick around and put it behind other crates, like for cover, behind the arrows. And I couldn't figure out how to kick the box up all the way to the front of where the guys were firing arrows so I could jump up and get them.
Oh,
so I got stuck.
Okay.
Like right away. I already hit a save point, though, so I'm good there. But that's going to take some time.
It's a big game, the God of War games. I haven't actually played them myself, but not in the weird way where I've watched people online playing them, but like I've seen friends of mine playing big chunks of it.
Yeah. I may have to have my boy come over and have him cheat for me. Do you want to get me past all this stuff, please?
Let's get to the easy bit where I can go to a shop.
Yeah,
I remember in all my early gaming, the most important thing, for anyone else, it would be like, oh, how many bosses have you defeated, or for me, it was all about getting to the next town and going to a shop.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, that's where you upgrade everything. Like I said last week's show, I still miss God mode. I just want to put in a code. I have all the equipment. I have all the power, I have all the ammo, and you just go through and slaughter everything. I mean, the worst thing they did was take that out of gaming. It's sad, for guys like me that are horrible. I mean,
yeah, it's the increase in multiplayer gaming, isn't it? Unfortunately, but
yeah. See, back in my day, there was no such thing as multiplayer. It was one guy, one player. They're starting to go back to that now a little bit.
I mean, come on, there was Pong.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's how I started, actually. That was a big deal back then, too. It was like, wow.
The first game you've ever played?
First game I ever had. Yeah. 79? I think. Yeah, something like that. Say, man, did you see in the chat box, Wrecker is already throwing like existential questions at us? And it's like, I'm still talking about my weekend, man. He wants to talk about life in the universe. I'm like, Jesus, dude, I'm still on what I did on Saturday. And it's like, you know.
And now we're talking aliens.
I know. I appreciate it. I mean, you want to, you know, we talk about shit like what kind of socks do you wear on stage? And here he is with, well, who else is in the universe besides us? I'm talking about what kind of guitar picks you use or something. And here's this. It's like, you know, Wrecker, I love you, but dude, give us a minute to, you know, get settled in. We'll address this. You know,
hey, Wrecker.
I know, man. Come on, man. You gotta look at the minds you're dealing with here. You gotta think it down a little bit. You know, we're not quite that. You're not brainiacs here. You know, I mean, shit. Anyway,
though, like you say. I mean, going on with Wrecker's question, just taking a little look at it. But
we're gonna hit it. All right.
Yeah. Why the fuck would aliens come here? Well, I mean, if there's so much out there, realistically, there's an infinite amount of things that are infinitely possible. So there should be everything out there. If you can think of it, it's out there. It's just not very close. It's fucking stupidly far away because there's this infinite amount of options, especially if you go into like multiverse theory and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, you're talking
so
yeah.
That means there's got to be somewhere more shit than Earth out there. So they probably want to come here. Well, I mean, to be massively un-PC, there are countries on Earth that people don't like because they are a bit shit, and they would rather live in other countries. So they move and immigrate into them, and I've probably opened a political can of worms there, but it's true. So you know,
yeah.
It's just taking them a while to get there. It might have happened before our lifetime. Who knows?
Well, it's all a matter of distance, basically. You know, how fast. I mean, if you're a big Marvel fan, you know, and you have the whole wormhole concept or the multiverse concept, yeah, it's possible, you know. But I mean, if you look, half of your sci-fi, you know, movies ever made, it's some other alien race, you know, exhausted all the resources on their planet. So they're going to come here and take ours because they burned out their world, and now we're next, and that kind of. But it's the whole transportation thing. Everything is so far away from each other, you know. So then you're almost talking the meaning of life. You know, are we a scientific experiment? Are we like living like in a petri dish somewhere on a sponge, and there's big aliens watching over us, and you know. Or you got the whole God thing, and then you got the whole religion. It just gets bonkers, you know.
I like to think it could all quite easily be possible, and I don't really care about it because it's beyond my control. So I'm just going to do what I'm doing.
I'm worried about what's for supper tomorrow.
Yeah, you know? That's interesting. I'm not worried about if there's a God controlling everything. That doesn't bother me because, like, if there is, whatever's happened, it's going to fucking happen anyway. I have no control over this, so fuck it. Let's go eat some pizza.
Yeah,
that's where I stand on it all.
Yeah, I get that too. I mean, I kind of, you know, after I hit a certain age, you know, I was so worried about my mortality and whatnot. And you know what? I thought to myself, well, shit, I'm not dead today. I woke up. Here we are. So let's have a good day. You know, that's how I'm step at a time, man. That's how I'm looking at it. You know, something that just caught my interest. I moved my camera. I used to be on a tripod up above me a little bit, kind of shooting down at me. And my wife, Connie, says, you know, you can see the ceiling in the studio. And I thought I had fixed that. Now that I look at the camera shot, you can still see the ceiling in the studio. I'll have to maybe bring that down a little bit. I don't know. Not a big problem. I have worse problems to have, I suppose.
You do have quite a bit of headroom. I mean, like, I'm sitting here and my cap's touching the top of my video.
Yeah. I'll have to.
You could have an extra head if you really wanted to.
Well, here, let's see. Let's see. How's that?
Look, Craig in all of his glory.
Hey, now you know I have a microphone. It's not beaming us in out of my head. It's actually a mic. You know, I'm not using like telepathy or anything. God, look
I like a mic on screen.
Well, people think you're more legit then, I think, you know. But
I don't know if I've seen a lot of people like trying to hide them away these days in these videos. It's not about radio anymore. It's about being an influencer, so they don't give a shit. They care that you've got an iPhone 15. They don't care that you've got a nice microphone, unless it's one of those Shure SM7Bs or SMB7 or whatever it is. They're really nice microphones. I would love one of those. Yeah. Everyone wants to buy me.
Those big black ones.
Yeah. See,
they're like $400, man.
They are expensive, but they are very, very, very good. They are very good.
Well,
they're also weirdly, you might not think this, but they're actually condensers as well. They're not condensers, rather they're actually dynamic microphones. Yeah, they're not condensers.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, that means I could snap an old SM58 on here and be just fine. Because
I
have. Yeah.
The very early days of XRP, we were using SM58s for a while. You just got to be a bit closer to them, but it is quite good. Like if you're in a house that has a lot of natural movement and energy in the house, like a dynamic mic is way better than the condensers because you don't get all the air sound and shit.
Okay. I mean, I have like one good mic in the studio, my Rode, whatever this thing is, 1A something or other. That's this.
Yeah.
And this is what I use for a broadcast, and also it's my vocal mic when I record. Otherwise, I have an old Beta 58 laying around, Shure. And it depends on, if I'm doing something like off the cuff, like really quickly, I want to record a real fast vocal track. I take my SM58, put an adapter on it, plug it into my guitar chain, my pedal chain, and just come back through that way into the board. It works fine because on the guitar line, I have all the echo and delay and reverb and shit, and phasing and flanging. And, it's not the same quality as this, of course, but for a scratch vocal, like all those, I think those intros.
Hurt my head with that description of what you do.
Why? I mean, am I pulling the curtain
to record? You don't have to. There's nothing wrong, but it is wrong. Just like, I just need to record. I'll just chuck my vocals through my guitar chain. That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Hey, I've always said, I never record. There's no right way, right? I mean, I get it done. Wrecker wants to know if he's the only person there. Dude, as far as I can tell, you're it. Tizz can probably see more.
Let's have a look.
On my end.
I mean, I've got to press buttons and shit, haven't I?
He
let's
has
have a look.
to push buttons.
There's not many people in the chat box, admittedly, but we have. We got some people in Kansas, Minnesota. Oh, that's going to be you, isn't it?
That's me and it's me and Connie.
Just over from you in Quebec.
Quebec.
We got some Londoners in and some Kentish in. Ooh, we got someone where are you? In Crawley. Get in there, Crawley. We have 3 listeners that are always listening to us, which is quite cool. I do like it. And they're in Moscow, in Germany. Where in Germany are they? They're in Kassel in Germany, and in Brussels in Belgium.
There's not my usual massive fan base in Reykjavik, Iceland.
They're
letting me down.
Iceland's up there. We've got a couple of people in Iceland, actually.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, we've got people everywhere. Don't get me wrong. We've got people listening right now from Mongolia, Kazakhstan, Kuwait. Quite a few places. I'm surprised there's anyone listening from Kuwait. But yeah, we got good people. Some few people. That usual band of people from Italy that listen to us because of Vuxet. Chat box wise, though.
Yeah, it's pretty much Wrecker. And I'm sorry, man. I mean, you feel kind of lonesome. We're here keeping you company. I mean, we can start typing in the chat box if it makes you feel more concrete.
Ironically, I did the promotion for this show considerably earlier during the day because I had a bit of time to do it. Which went down moderately okay, but then the usual live now promotion that I do right before the show, I was a little late from work and rushing around, so I'm doing it as we're doing the show. So it might be a couple of minutes before a few people join us as well.
Yeah, we were kind of last second today. I'm sorry, but we got here.
Also, I haven't even said this yet. All the people that are listening, watching elsewhere that might be on social networks or listening, tune in, Alexas, all of those devices. I think you can, if you install the playlist file for XRP into your Apple server system, you can get us on your HomePods and everything now, which is quite cool.
That's amazing.
But you can still chat with us at xrpradio.co.uk/chat. So pull your phone out your pocket, jump on xrpradio.co.uk/chat and come have a chat with me, Craig, and Wrecker at the moment.
Yeah, so we're kind of like omnipresent, or what's it? Omniimpotent, or omni something. We're everywhere, man.
Omnipotent.
That's what it
wanted,
was,
isn't it?
Not omniimpotent. Not omniimpotent. That's different.
Yeah, I mean,
yes.
How can you be omniimpotent?
More than once?
I mean, you can only really be impotent, and that's it, really, isn't it? End of. You can't re-potent yourself. It's potent yourself, can you?
Look, I think my brain is still hurting from thinking about life in the universe after record here with the question.
Should we have a little break? Is it music time? Is it?
Hit me with something.
You made all the tracks. You have to tell me what's next. That's how it works here.
Oh, come on. Okay, first off, now this time for the hot picks, I am working on a hot picks theme. One of us should do a hot picks theme song, I think. I mean, it's your turn. I've been doing theme songs like a bat out of hell.
I do need to.
You do.
Yep. Time is my enemy recently.
I understand that. I think I wrote 3 of them so far. I think.
You have.
Right.
And you may as well just keep going then, mate.
Okay. All right. Okay. Anyway, I was going to say that my hot picks for this week, I pretty much went with all brand new stuff, except for the last 2 are like a year old. I found a bunch of new stuff, and all of a sudden I go, let's go back a bit. So I went way back for the last 2. So then I have to start to figure out how many to actually pick, because if I try to do 10, but if we get off on a tangent, we play about half of them.
Yeah.
So I gotta come up with a count on that better. So anyway, first one is a band called Kaiserkillers, and the track is called Heavenly in Black.
Is
all right, rock level. Yeah, I'm good.
Good, happy day. For all those that are doing the watching of us, if you want to hear the tracks in full without us chatting over them, head over to xrpradio.co.uk/chat, or use the many radio-based sites, MyStream Radio, TuneIn, your Alexa. Just ask Alexa to play us, and she will. We might ask you to download the skill for it, but it's a skill well worth downloading, in my personal opinion.
I agree.
So what made you? I think we didn't get a one-word answer, a one-word review of the band.
Well, I started, and all I said was rock in big letters. Then the next song said rock in big letters, and then they all said rock in big letters. I think the whole theme is just rock.
Are we having a rocking day today?
We're having I didn't do any kind of off-kilter, moody, proggy stuff. It's all pretty much balls to the wall. Except for that damn Gurn Blanston's in there, and that's a funk track.
I just got a funk track that I'm happy about.
I have a message from my wife. She says, I see you.
Hi, Connie.
Hi, Connie. I keep trying to go that way. Here it is.
Yeah, I think you can change the mirror thing.
Oh, yeah, I can flip my axis around. That's cool.
Mirror camera, yeah. There we go.
I should do that. Settings. Hold on.
You can just click the little, where it says stop cam at the bottom. There's a little up arrow, and there's a mirror camera button.
Oh, like on the main screen?
Yeah.
I don't see it.
At the bottom, you should have a stop cam button.
Oh, that arrow. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, hit that arrow.
Oh, stop cam. Ah.
Don't stop, you can.
Oh. Sorry.
See the little tiny arrow on the stop cam button?
Yes.
Hit that.
Ah.
And then there's a mirror camera button.
Got it.
Learning live on XRP Radio. And
wow.
When you go the right way when you go the right way.
Oh, I do. Good. Was I zoomed up that close before? I seem like I'm so much more.
You do seem to have zoomed yourself up a bit. Did you find another option?
I didn't move anything.
That one might be in your settings. I don't know how to help you.
Huh. There's no zoom. That's strange.
I think if you go to setting camera. No. Oh, there.
I got high def.
There.
Here's definition.
Smart zoom. In effects.
Got it.
Smart zoom.
It's on now. It wasn't before.
Oh. What?
Well, it's weird. How did it just zoom up on me? Because after I stopped my camera, it came back a lot closer.
That's interesting.
Well, gee whiz. I don't want to be this close up.
you randomly have more than one camera? Or is it using a different camera?
No, I just have the one. I'd probably have to get out and get back in. That'd be kind of silly. Here's full screen. Huh. Weird, huh? Maybe I should stop it and start it again, see if it resets it.
That might work. Give it a go.
Try it. Still zoomed up.
I had this part of this image that it was going to have gone even closer.
Okay. Oh, now Connie says it's your big head zooming in. Now it's better. Is my head too big now? Go tell me.
I mean, always. But... I mean, that's nothing to do with actual physical size.
No, I hope not.
Yeah, I don't think that's a check.
All right.
There we go. That was Kaiserkillersuk here on XRP Radio with Heavenly in Black. Craig's 4-letter word for today was rock.
Rock.
Maybe we should do it like that, like a bit Sesame Street. A 4-letter word for the day is.
Oh yeah, we could start being educational.
Shall we? No.
Well, no, let's not.
Do we want to teach a generation the things that we know, the things that we've seen?
Isn't that scary though? I'll be spending the rest of the show trying to figure out how to unzoom. I stopped my camera for a second, and all of a sudden I have this extreme close-up going, and I can't figure out.
I think it's quite nice to get up close and personal with Craig.
No, I gotta make sure I brush my teeth and stuff now. This is
like
no
we could do this. This might be better. Oh, that's not the right button.
No.
Damn it, the thing that I want to happen isn't happening. Okay.
Well, hello. Don't push a lot of buttons because all of a sudden stuff gets messed up on this thing. I think we're good. Well, at least I'm here. Well, so where were we? I was still talking about my week. Or should I go on to something else?
No, you're more than welcome to tell me more about your week.
All right. This is interesting. I had my good friend Mark Walters, who you guys might know as Dirty Dan, did the famous Dirty Dan and the Mud Puppies song about going camping out in the woods and cooking gators and all that stuff. He stopped over on last Monday, to visit with me. Okay. And he said, I want to write some music with you. I go, well, okay, cool. Now, unfortunately, he just caught me between songs. I just gotten through putting out the new Gurn Blanston track, right? So I really wasn't working on anything at the time. So I went and fired up my deck, and I did have a hip-hop track I was working on. I was going to invent a brand new character called Little Dummy. He was a rapper. And the problem was I looked at it, and there actually is a guy named Little Dummy already, so I couldn't do that anymore. So I had this really cool hip-hop thing and nothing to do with it. So I played it for Mark. He listens to it, and he goes, that sounds really Arabian to me. I go, I don't know where you see that, man, but okay. So next thing you know, he sits down, gets a piece of paper. He's writing out lyrics, and all of a sudden, he's a street vendor in Marrakesh. His name is Samir, and he's writing a song about working in the marketplace, selling spices and exotic silks and all this kind of stuff. And
of course he is.
Of course, because he's just whipping this stuff. You know, this is how he did the Dirty Dan thing too. It's all of a sudden out of nowhere, bang. You know, he's Dirty Dan, right? Yeah. So now he's Samir. You know, so anyway. I got this track, right? It runs 2 minutes, but it was a little too short, so I double timed it, so it goes 4 minutes. So he does his thing where, you know, welcome into my stall, you know, try some fine spices, cumin, couscous, all this kind of stuff, you know. Anyway, so after about halfway, he can't think of anything else to say, so the rest of the track just runs by itself, right? So no vocal. So I go, well, how about what if Samir slipped you something you thought was a spice, but instead it was like a mind-altering substance instead, and you tried this? So I went with that idea. So the first half of it is just Samir, and you hear like I actually found like marketplace ambience. You hear people talking and stuff, and kids running around, and you know, on top of the hip hop track, right? So the second half of it, where Mark wasn't talking, I took Mark's vocal track and I reversed him. So it's like you got high on something, and all of a sudden Samir is talking, but it's all reverse echo. Okay, it's all backwards now. Right. And then I threw in an electric sitar threw in some just like wordless female vocals, like this East Indian chanting thing. I threw that in there. So like the whole second half of the song is like this big acid trip. So that's where I've left it. So he wants to come back next Monday and see what I've done to it. He might be a little surprised. But
sounds fun.
Yeah. Now I love doing stuff like that. It's like, okay, we're gonna record what you want to do, but all of a sudden now it's my turn to take a crack at it. So we'll see what he thinks.
Creative. Hello to Nightwolf, who's joined us in the chat box as well.
Good to see you. All right, so I guess enough of my rambling. We should probably get on to. We did have some questions this week, I believe.
We did. We were gonna. I thought you were coming up with questions for when we've got Rekka to interview next week at this very time. Everybody,
we do. I have two things of questions. I have this one was for Rekka, and this one was for us. So, actually, they could cross.
Hoping I can keep him up for long, or hoping we can keep him up. To be fair, as soon as we finish the show, I've got to quickly get Rekka on just to make sure his audio stuff's all good enough to do the show, and then we can actually say that we're going to do it. So we might even get to see him for a second later.
Sweet.
So
that'll be good.
That'll be a thing. You won't get to see him, listeners, though. We just will whilst we make sure things work. So.
It'll be a teaser for you guys for next week.
It will be. It will be. It'll also be a teaser for me to figure out how to get free people on this in these windows.
Just keep clicking more buttons, I suppose.
Yeah, I can. I can do. I can put you on top.
Well, I'm not gonna say anything about that. Yes,
put you on top with your big head.
Why? Thank you.
Can I make you?
My big head.
Oh wow! Wow! Oh wow! I'm so glad I found this button. Perfect. That's exactly
what I want, man. God, I got a half mind to turn my computer off and reboot just so I can get my head back to where it's supposed to.
I could just spotlight you.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. Are you really happy I found that, aren't you?
No, not at all. Thank you. Who gave you all the buttons anyway?
Do you want some buttons?
Well, no, I've got some down here on the bottom of the screen. If I want to play with them, I can
give you even more buttons.
I can raise my hand. I can put up reactions.
I'll make you a host. I can't make you a host, but I can make you a host.
I don't want to be a. There, I just put a little hand clap thing.
I saw them.
Yeah,
I like the way they start in a random point and go.
They kind of float away. Here, let's see.
Yeah.
Here we go. I thought it was a slice of pizza. I think it's a party horn.
It is a party horn. I can.
Okay. Well, come on now. Don't get.
Oh, it's all so funny.
So it's 2 hours of this, huh? All right.
It's quite good. I think it's quite cool that it appears over the chat box. Actually,
someone
can say something nice, and we can be like, "I like that comment,"
or give them a thumbs down and say, "No."
I like the fact. It's rare to have anything socially interactive that's got a thumbs down, to be fair. So,
well,
well done, Watchstream, for allowing people to be negative.
Well, we're also all about positivity these days. We want everything to be happy, bright and happy. That's fine.
That's it. Oh, we might try something brand new next Wednesday as well, Greg.
Is this you're just going to tell me about it for the first time right now?
I'm going to tell you about it right this second. Yeah.
Am I going to be happy?
I think so, yeah. I think we're going to try, when we play the Rekka tune, to play the video.
Not at the same time.
Yeah, at the same time. But we'll only hear one audio. It will just be the video.
Oh, you're not... Okay, I got it now.
I'm not going to, play the track on, mix
and then try to sync them together.
No, I'm just going to play the video and the audio from the video like a normal human being. When you watch YouTube, do you get the CD out for the band, put YouTube on silent, and just sit there with the skip file?
Doesn't everybody do that? Come on,
you absolute mentalist.
Yeah. What's the old thing about What's the old thing about if you watch The Wizard of Oz and you put the reckoning needle down on Dark Side of the Moon and they both tell the story at the same time? It's the same situation.
Oh, damn. Is that actually true? And have you done it?
Hell no.
No.
I haven't had a turntable in a while. All my turntables died on me.
But I mean, has anyone done all these? Like, I know there's a few things like that. Like, if you listen to this whilst watching this, it syncs somehow.
Yeah, somehow. I'm still pushing buttons, trying to unshrink my head.
Boosmax asks why I'm so small. What's actually happened is Craig is so big.
Hey, Tizz, why don't you shut off your camera and turn it back on?
See if it happens.
Yeah, see if it happens to you, too.
Do you like my little character? I like my little
I love your little character.
Nope.
See, you come back the same way. Well, shit. This sucks.
I don't know how to
I'd have to reboot my whole computer and everybody would miss me. It's like, oh, or you can talk about me behind my back while I'm gone. I don't know.
I mean, if you really want to, we could put on a track. It's almost that time. It is that time. And then I can refresh the page. Or you can refresh the page. I don't need to refresh. You need to refresh.
I do have to refresh it on my side. I guess I could do that over the course of a track. This is going to drive me, because tonight when I go back to watch this playback on YouTube on my 75-inch TV, my head will be like 3 feet long, and I can't take that.
I'm 90% sure Craig is the only DJ in the history of Everness that goes back and listens to the shows. Like, I can't go back and listen to my shows. I can't.
Well, I don't go back and watch ours.
Oh, do you not?
I watch everybody else. I watch the old Friendly Fires, and I watch Jana's show, and that's about it.
Have you ever? This is a question. Have you ever, like? Because I know you've gone back to watch the Friendly Fires, like, either if you've missed some of it, but like, have you ever just been like, oh, what am I doing? Oh, let's go watch an old Friendly Fire from like a year ago.
I do, because they're hilarious.
Oh, cool.
You know,
that's interesting.
They're actually pretty funny. They're kind of a crapshoot, though. You kind of have to scroll the scroll bar and kind of drop it and see what happens.
Yeah, it's there's no order to it, and whatever happened.
Right.
And it depends how excitable Jana was on that specific day too.
Yes, it's kind of like found comedy, you know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you could try playing a song, and I could try refreshing and see what happens.
Just to see if it makes any difference. If it's going to drive you that insane.
It really is. I mean, this is starting to really bother me.
Okay, cool. Right, where's the thing that tells me?
Oh, your thing? Yeah.
That's what I need. I found the thing. Now you can tell them what it is whilst I find the thing.
Okay, this, I believe, is the thing we put up when one of us have to go take a pee. If I remember correctly. Is that what you're doing?
No, not that thing. I was on about the track. The next track, the name of it.
I thought you were going to put up the thing and says, sorry, we stepped out for 5 hours while we're not that. The next track would be.
No, we're going to play a track so you can refresh.
Don't worry. I'm back on my game, man. See, this big head thing is making me think too hard.
Okay.
My next. Yes.
I was going to make a joke about having too much brains inside your new big head or something.
That is never going to happen. I'm surprised my wife didn't step in with a comment on that line. All right. My next song is by a band called Twilight Stunt Work. And it's a track called You and I.
It really is a track called You and I.
That's what it says.
To play just right now.
All right. I'll be back in a moment. All right. See you a bit.
Okay.
Intentions lead the way. So far from now, where the north going.
Boom's back, a vape that needs being red-coloured seat. That sounds like something that's even more harmful than what I'm already vaping, to be honest. I don't think I'll be happy with inhaling colours. Dye sounds negative, you know what I mean? If you think about fireworks, they put in sulfates and copper and shit. Sounds like a bad idea. Hi, you're back to normal size. Why can't I hear you?
You can't hear me.
Oh, now I can. I think your mic had to warm up or something.
Well, I actually had to reboot the entire system.
Well, you're back. I took on another track quickly, just destroy.
All right. Yeah. First off, I just changed this came out of the browser. Same thing. So I just shut the whole thing down and rebooted. That is strange. I've never seen a webcam zoom up on its own before. Okay, now Boom's not going to talk about your little head anymore. Right. Okay.
You asked the same question a week ago. Oh,
Come on, man. We're rocking and rolling.
Okay,
We're almost done with the first hour already.
we are almost done with the first half. Voxet is the Italian show that goes out on XRPRADIO 3 times a week. The newest one is right before the tag show. Actually, no, it's not anymore. It's right before Locked and Loaded every Saturday. From this Saturday, it'll be from 3 till 4. Usually it's from 4 till 4. And it's all 100% unsigned and independent Italian music, which is fantastic. With a specific focus around the kind of Sicily area. A little bit of advertisement for Voxet.
Yep, nothing wrong with that.
I don't know why the audio started. We had a few technical glitches all over the place.
Yeah, all of a sudden your voice seems a little quieter. I don't know, ever since you were playing music. Maybe if you weren't playing music as loud or something, I don't know. Everything cool on your end?
Yeah. We just had a little technical glitch where we went off air for a second, but it's only during the track.
Yeah, okay. This is one of those bands where somebody my age, they all sound like, oh, it's Fall Out Boy. Hey, these guys sound just like Fall Out Boy. There's like probably 40 bands, I'm going to tell you. They sound just like Fall Out Boy.
Oh. Literally.
Midwest claiming they've seen God, losing all their house money on a poor bed. I can't decide if it's the anger of the days we left behind.
It's nice to know Fun Pop Punk is still there for the few teenagers that might enjoy it in school.
Yeah.
I know I was brought up on that.
I think, like I said before, that was a whole genre of music I missed, but our daughter listened to it, so I was aware of it because of that, basically. There was other bands back then, like Yellow Card and a bunch of other people I can't remember. Oh, Switchfoot.
I like a little rhythmical bass.
Yeah.
It's kind of what they're meant to do, though. Stupid questions.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid questions. Stupid. I can't even think today. This is what happens when you're on your way home and you have to flap a bit and your timing's all off.
Boomsmack got a yellow card once. Were you playing soccer? Isn't that a soccer thing? Oh, it's a red card.
They have yellow cards in football as well.
That's soccer.
Football. Sorry.
Yeah.
It aggravates me that American football has the most minimal foot-to-ball ratio of touching in a lot of sports. Rugby has more foot-to-ball ratio than American football.
Yeah, I guess I can see that.
If anything, American football should be handball.
No, handball is something completely different where you bounce it off of walls and stuff. That's different.
Punch your face ball.
Yeah. That's why I like wrestling so much. Wrestling is wrestling, no matter if you do it here or do it over in the UK. Matter of fact, I think WWE is on tour right now over in your neck of the woods. They're doing a European thing.
I've seen a load of stuff on Netflix, but I
Yep.
ignore it massively. That was Destroy the Moon from the Midwest here on XRP Radio. Before that, you heard Twilight Stunt Work from You and I. That's not the right way around to say that. You heard You and I from Twilight Stunt Work. Sorry if our stream dropped for people in any way, shape, or form, but we are here and we are playing great inside and independent music and tangenting quite massively today, actually.
We have actually. We really started off the show without talking about music at all, really, for the first 10 minutes or so.
I'm out of time. We were going to talk about gigs quite and stuff like that and performing and stage stuff, which I was really hoping for a few more people in the chat box that have been on stage more than anything.
Yeah, these questions are kind of aimed at your gigging folks, and I was kind of thinking it was a bit more of an interactive chat box type line of questioning today.
That's why I was kind of allowing us to tangent for a while, but without any other options. What guys? I mean, I know Boomsmack has performed before. Tell us about your gig stories, Booms and Wrecker, if you have any. Whilst we tell you about ours. Go on, Craig. What's the best gig you've ever played, and what? Like, tell us all about it, all of it.
How long have you got? Oh, an hour and 7 minutes. The best gig I ever played was back when I played in the Express Band years ago. We used to play at a place called the Richfield American Legion, and we were the house band there. We were there like once a month, like for years. And the other bands that played there were kind of like country and western, that type of thing, back to the 50s. Yeah. We came in and we were doing funk, and we were doing R&B, and there was nobody else doing that kind of thing. We had a female vocalist, we had a sax player, we had all this kind of, we were a totally different thing than everybody else in that place. And over the course of playing there, and it was years, I want to say, like, if Connie's in chat, she'll let me know, like 10, 14 years, was my guess, every month. And we had that place so packed. I mean, you couldn't find a place to park. You would walk in the door of the club, and it was just like sardines, just sandwiched in, and that was the coolest gig because, we built a following, like from the grassroots, from the ground up. Nobody knew who we were when we first came in, but they knew we were doing something unlike anybody else in that place, which was really neat. It was kind of trend setting at the time. But when we retired from that gig, it was just, for our last show, we recorded it, made a video of it and stuff. Actually did a live DVD as well on that last show. It was packed, man. Just crazy. But that was the best gig. Worst gig? I was in a band called the Twist Tones for a while, and that band, our claim to fame was taking like 1960s rock tunes and redoing them like the Ramones. Like a lot more fast and punky, and we're doing like old Stones tracks and Animals and Turtles and stuff like that. And I had like a Marshall on stage, I'm blasting, just faster and stuff. Played a lot of biker bars, stuff like that. But we played this one gig at a place called the Rainbow Bar and Grill, and we were doing a song. Oh my God, I think it was one of those "Come a Little Bit Closer," something like that. And our bass player was singing it. He sang the song, and the club owner walked up to the stage and got us together, the band on the side of the stage. He said, if that guy sings one more thing, I'm kicking you out of my bar right now. pack up your shit, you're done. So apparently he really didn't care for our vocalist or for our bass player. Sorry, a whole hell of a lot. So that was kind of sad. But
no.
I've played in many empty bars. I was in a country western band for quite a while, and you'd play like these Wednesday, Thursday nights, right? The club is just empty, and you play your first song, and some drunk up at the bar yells, "Take a break!" after your first song. That's real show of confidence, stuff like that. So yeah, I played some stinkers too, but also Express would do a lot of, back to the good gigs, Express would do a lot of outdoor festivals in the summertime. And we played quite a few, like 4th of July celebrations, which is obviously huge over here in the States. But we'd play like to 1,000 people. I mean, it was just crazy. We'd be like on this stage outdoors. There'd be like a grassy hill in front of us, and people would bring blankets and lawn chairs and just people as far as you could see. And it was really cool. Those gigs were fun. Played a lot of casino, hotel room gigs. The problem with casinos is that they don't want the band to be too good because they don't want the customers sitting. Exactly. They want to be on the floor gambling, not sitting watching you. So you can't be too good, or they're going to be, spending all their money watching you as opposed to on the floor putting money in slot machines. So did quite a few of those. But yeah, that Richfield Legion, we called it the House of Funk because we were there for so long doing the funk music. Excuse me. And yeah, great gig. So that's pretty much my big ones and my stinkers.
That's I was unsure. See, so Craig sent me some of the questions that he wanted to do in today's show about gigs over seconds after we were talking about getting Wrecker on the show for next week, and I was like, oh, I don't think Wrecker have actually played a gig yet, but they have. They played one gig as Wrecker. It was mostly a covers set, but snuck in 2 of their own tracks at the Ali in Kirriemuir during Bonfest last year. But they're going back there this year for Bonfest. That might be something that I might attend. See, ironically, since I moved to Scotland 3 years ago, I have not integrated myself very well into the music scene up here, which is something that I really need to do. I've just been incredibly busy. I mean, considering I used to be going around broadcasting gigs live in Birmingham quite often. I've been a bit shit since I moved, to be honest. And I do want to start doing that live broadcasting and recording again. That needs to come back. Especially if I can get these visuals sorted as well. That'll be very cool. Boom Smack says, in 1998, he played a really well-known club in Atlanta called The Masquerade. It had 3 levels, Heaven, Hell, and Purgatory. Awesome.
That's great.
Over the years, he's played all 3 levels. But in 98, we played Heaven on Halloween night, and the show was sponsored by the local rock station and sold out. He was dressed as Joey Ramone, and everyone thought he was Howard Stern. And yes, there is a video. Another time, Elements of Style won competitive Battle of the Bands with cool prizes.
That's so funny, man. Joey Howard Stern, huh? That's pretty good.
I can't see Booms as Howard Stern, but maybe.
Maybe a real tall Howard Stern.
A very tall Howard Stern.
Yeah, no, like I was just telling Booms that they were replying back. I've done the outdoor, flatbed truck gigs too, where they pull a truck and you're sitting on the flatbed. The problem with those gigs is that those flatbeds were never level, right? So your mic stands are kind of wobbling and stuff, when you're playing. Once the drummer kicks in, the light towers are doing this and the mic stands are going like this. And we played one of those gigs. It was like a fall festival thing, and it got so cold, our mic stand started icing up. The chrome part of the mic stand started, and we're trying to play, my hands freezing up on the guitar and stuff, and it was like in the 30s, which is cold here, but man, that was interesting. Thank God we had stage light, and it kind of kept us, from not freezing to death, so that was nice.
Yeah. I've played a few freezing gigs. The venue that I used to play mostly, Eddie's Number 8. And if anyone's from Birmingham and they're thinking of Eddie's Number 8, it's not that one. It's the even older one, and you have to be old to remember that one. And it was famous for not having any heating. It was fucking icicle cold in there during the winter. And there's a few bands that still do it today. but a dress sense came from that venue because it was like the venue that all starter bands, all school bands, all college player bands played Eddie's Numbers 8 as one of their first gigs that they played, guaranteed. And all of a sudden, everyone's wearing fingerless gloves. It was like a trend was set from Eddie's Number 8 because everyone had to wear gloves and they had to be fingerless ones so we could play. So yeah, it's a random fashion trend in Birmingham through all of the alternative rockers from that. And yes, I had a pair of and a giant trench coat as well. That's why I used to perform in, fingerless gloves and a trench coat.
Kind of a nice look, kind of princey, pretty princeish.
It worked. It worked apparently. It worked apparently. Played a few of them. I think the best gig for me that there's two best gigs that I've played and one that I was a techie at. So. Whoa. See, I'd like to say the best gigs that I played was my own music at Keel Castle when we did the Mighty Jam stuff, and it was only the one gig that would have been my favorite one, and we had as I've mentioned before, the Mighty Jam was, I think it was 21 musicians at its max, violinists, trombones, trumpet, 2 guitarists, bassists, 2 drummers, programmers, synth players, the works, everything, multiple vocalists. And the only reason why this gig was so good specifically was because it was the one time out of all the times that we performed that every single bit came together perfectly. Any other gig we played as the Mighty Jam, even when there was less people, something went wrong somewhere. And there was a tech issue during the set that displaced it. We still did a good everything else, but there would have. So one time we were using a Mac Mini as a Logic master, so we were running all our vocals through Logic Live, so to get all the effects on all the different vocals and whatever.
Yep.
Basically we were lazy and we used the project files. And the idea was we just turned off all the compressors. So we used live compressors and racks, but all our effects were going through Logic. So that would have been fine. And all the techie, all our on stage techie, because obviously we had on stage and then back of the room. All our on stage techie had to do was arm each of the mic tracks at the right time. Right. And he was doing that fine. That wasn't the problem. The problem was the guy who was set up one of the tracks forgot to turn off the compressors. So when the mics went live, Logic overloaded and just shut down. So, and we're running all of our sound through Logic. So it was literally like mid-song, our vocalist went to go, and then just dead silence.
Oh, no.
And the worst thing is, we're like, this work, we know it works, so we just kept restarting and going to do it again. We did it. We were probably silent for about 10 minutes, and then we thought, fuck it, we'll just go on to the next track. And that happened a lot, that kind of stuff. But there was one gig at Keel Castle that everything just went. It was bliss. Like, looking at all the other musicians on stage, just the smiles just got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger because but it almost with disbelief, like nothing's fucked up. Don't jinx everyone, cross your fingers, kind of. And we got to the end, and it was just like, I think that was the best bit, coming off stage and everyone just being like so happy about the performance. That probably was better than the performance itself, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, I get that for sure. Yeah,
but see
yeah. Karen. I was gonna say, but you got to play your music.
That was a good thing.
Great.
Well, this is where the weird thing, because I said there was 2 favorite gigs of mine. The other one was with my college band, and it was weird because we were forcibly put together as part of our college course. There was 5 bands, I think there was. And we were put together. They were like, okay, there's 5 drummers and 5 bass, and you go together, and we've only got 4 bassists, so who's the shittest guitarist? You're playing bass now. And it was all forcibly kind of done within the and I ended up weirdly becoming the vocalist at this one, which I wasn't. I was mainly a bass player and string player through all my college sessions, and they were like, oh, you sing, okay, you're doing this now. I'm like, okay, fuck. and it was for a St. Patrick's Day gig at quite a big local venue, local to the college. That was up in Stratford-upon-Avon. And every single track we played was an Irish classic of some sort. We played, what did we play now? We played Tattooed Lady by What's His Face. I can't remember all the things. We played an old Irish classic called The Rocky Road to Dublin. What else did we play? I can't remember all of them. Oh, we played an instrumental where I played the violin and we kind of punked it up. There was like an old gypsy tune. And I think it was just the vibe in the place. It was sold out. It was probably the biggest crowd that I've played to inside a venue. And it looked even better because it just how rammed it was. And everyone was just loving it. Everyone loved it. I turned up drunk. I got told off by my college tutors. My parents patted me on the back and then bought me a beer, which the college tutors weren't happy about.
Yeah.
Considering I was underage at the time. I shouldn't have been.
Well,
I was 16 years old, I think.
Right.
And it was brilliant. Yeah, I'll always remember how just crazy the crowd went over it. Considering, it wasn't our music, and we weren't even really playing stuff that was like hyper well known. Like the other bands got good stuff, like some Pogues classics and stuff. We didn't get any Pogues. We got a load of fucking shit. But it was a great gig. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. See, because I've never gotten to play my original stuff. I didn't start the Craig Allen Hex stuff until after I retired from playing on stage. So I've never heard anything I've ever done live. Which kind of stinks, but that's the way it is. I mean, I'm sure Booms has played original stuff on stage.
Did the Express Band or any of you? I thought you said you were in. Oh no, because that you were doing stuff in Ramones style, weren't you?
Right. Yes. It was all covers. There was never the thought of doing original stuff.
Oh,
so
that's crazy.
Yeah.
I remember my very first actual band wasn't like we did the school concerts and stuff, but we always played covers. And I ended up getting kicked out of the band because I was too heavy on we should write our own stuff. We should do something ourselves. I'm fed up of playing everyone else's music. We should do our own music. And they kicked me out of the band. Guns.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Irian's here.
Irian, actually, on the note of people turning up, should we have some more music?
I think we should do that.
We're doing really bad today.
And you know what the funny thing is? You know who's next on my list?
Is it Irian?
Well, go figure that.
Perfect.
Wow, timing.
Perfect.
Cool.
That's what I like to hear. Is it the brand new?
It's the brand new track. Yes, it is.
Of like 7 days ago.
Yep.
That's what I like to hear. Let me guess. What was your comment on this one, Craig? Rock.
No, with the fingers. Rock.
Did you draw fingers?
No, I'm not that artsy.
It's not with the fingers, is it? Or did you actually write down rock with the fingers?
No, it's it's RAWK.
Rock. Oh,
rock.
Okay.
Right.
Do you want to do the intro? You good? You've been doing them really well today.
I really haven't done much of anything as far as intro. Well, anyway.
Yeah, you did. You've introduced every single track we've played so far.
Okay, hang on. Here comes radio announcer voice. Can I get delay?
No.
Delay. What in the heck? Dang, man.
I could give you delay, but the only people that could hear it would be the listeners.
You and me.
No, only the listeners. So we wouldn't know whether it's working very well until we went back to the stream and see if it worked. So no. Sorry, no.
All right. Ready?
Yep.
Next up on XRP Radio, from Irian Darkwood, her fantastic new track, Light at the End of the Tunnel. Tunnel.
Self-made echo.
Eh? I'm going to want more money for that.
Sounds of Njord.
The what?
You can tell Njord is the creative mind behind the instrumental.
Yeah, well, you know.
Resilient soul, never to fall. A messenger straight, my voice profound, shouting a message, uplifting sound. Yeah.
It is. It's serious.
She has amazing timing.
Me and Irian should do a collab.
Yep.
I think I'd rock a rock track, you know.
Yeah.
I think you're lying. So.
Cool.
Cool.
Well, here's the I have a hard time hearing you when the music's playing now.
Oh, let's have a.
I can hear you, but
Do that a bit. There you go. Tiny bit.
okay, it's a little better. Yeah, it's funny. It's like it's almost like that signal is messing with yours or something.
I wonder if there's a way I can give it a steady.
Now we can ask her all the questions about how many gigs have you had and how great were they and how
I
good ones
don't
and
think
bad ones.
Irian's done a gig either yet, to be fair. I might be wrong. But
Oh,
Irian used to do a lot of karaoke singing, as I remember. She did a lot of karaoke, so she on the karaoke circuit, but like not just as she did it properly, not just as a weird.
Well, if she was a karaoke, if she's a karaoke singer, then I gotta ask her how many times she did New York, New York by Frank Sinatra. Every karaoke singer sings New York, New York. It's just the way it is.
Do they?
Or Janis Joplin. I can always switch over to my questions I've got for Alan.
No, we've got to keep them private.
I'm gonna.
It's been quite fun to see Irian progress from the first track that she's been doing and starting off her career, watching her on social networks as she's starting to put together the look and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So,
She is everywhere, which is great.
it's quite fun to just see that progression. Not just have her everywhere, but it's somewhat documented, I guess. It's almost like how to become a rock star.
We've been very fortunate, I think, with our time together at XRP that, we've seen many artists evolve. I always think about Shippa 63. There's a guy who's really been through a lot of changes, all for the good.
It was fun to meet him. Out of all the people, never thought I'd ever meet him for obvious reasons. That he is the furthest away from me. I don't think I know anyone that lives further away from me than Mark. But
Probably not. He's a really nice. We've chatted on and off, not a lot, but he's a really nice guy.
it was amazing that I could just meet up with this random Aussie bloke, go to a random instrument museum.
Yeah.
Play a harpsichord together. It was so weird, but it worked. We did it, and it worked. Here we go. Cool. Light at the end of the tunnel from Irian Darkwood here on XRP Radio. We were having a chat there about meeting people. Actually, I mean, I always like meeting people that I've met through music, or especially XRP Radio. I've met you. I haven't met you in person, but Kat has met you in person.
She has.
You've met, and Connie has met Deborah, who are both quilting enthusiasts.
Correct.
Because of XRP Radio. How crazy is that?
Yeah, it's so funny you mentioned that. We were talking this morning, Connie and I were driving around, and we were talking about friends we have, and I said, it's so funny how some of the best friends I have are people I've never met in person. I mean, I've met so many great people through XRP, I mean, really good friends. I mean, obviously you and Kat for sure, but other musicians as well. And just a great group of folks, and it's so nice. We're all it's a good community. We all get together with each other and support each other's music and whatnot, and offer some constructive encouragement when it's needed. I didn't have this before.
One of the weird things that I love about having online friendships, though, in a decent community of people, though, right? So, like, with XRP, I see a lot of people know each other through XRPRADIO, Mish, Lewis, Oven chatting together because obviously they make music together. You got Jason, you just see everyone online chatting together and whatever. And I've never seen a bad word between people. There's never any drama here. And like there's drama between XRP and other places, but in our own community, there's never been any like horrific crazy drama. People don't hate each other or anything like that. And that's been wonderful. And part of me puts it down from the fact that we're not the kind of people that get involved into like toxic comments threads on social media. So that means that we've got the benefit of the being able to walk away from people, so we don't get the annoying habits from them. You don't even know that I pick my nose and eat it, do you, Craig? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just looking at Connie texted me, folks, you're like Biden. Oh, she's compared me to Joe Biden because I use the word folks because I'm old. Thank you, Connie. I appreciate that. No, what was I going to say? About I think that there's no backstabbing here. I think the thing about XRP people is that I think we understand this is not a competition. I can only speak for myself. I'm certainly not about, look how many likes I have and how many plays I have. No, I've never done that.
You're not the best musician on the planet.
Only in my basement. I am the best goddamn guitar player ever walked in my basement. I'll tell you that right now. Just the genius. Sloppy keyboard player, though. Sorry, I'm not that amazing.
You've had better keyboard players walk into the basement.
I've played a lot better keyboard players for sure. Oh yeah, actually, I have had some good keyboard players on in my basement. Now that I think about it, yes. Darren's here. Hi, Darren.
So it sounds slightly dodgy. That does, doesn't it?
What?
I've had keyboard players.
I've had keyboard players in my basement. Actually, it's too cold down here to do much of anything. Don't get too excited. So, I know what you're thinking, Tizz. Right away. Down the toilet.
I didn't think if anyone watches this back, you'll see me like start to laugh and then get it. Then it gets in my head
because it keeps moving. Okay, no, I'm seeing hi ALC. Is ALC here and I don't see her anywhere?
She's in the chat box. I think she's listening from afar, but I think by the sound of it on the side, I think they may be eating.
Oh, is that? Oh, good. We can talk about her while she's eating and has her mouth full and can't say anything back to it. Well, that's okay. She's, you got to pick your battles. I love ALC. She's one of my close personal friends. Also a great hugger. Fantastic hugger. I'll give her that. That's great. Yes.
I know that on authority.
Yes.
But she shouldn't be giving them out without me. God's sake.
Well, what can you do?
But it's definitely I like having the internet between me and some of my friends. I think it makes us better friends sometimes. And then to be fair, when you finally meet up with them, it's like you've gone through some effort. That's a big moment when you finally meet up. Like when I met Mark, and he was up for it as well. And it's like, fuck, we're both up for this. We've got two people from across the pond, and we've met at the same time for a few hours in one place. That's just a cool thing. I think that's much cooler than having the random person that down the road that you end up in the pub with every single night.
Well, I won't lie. Sometimes I do look at airfare like to Glasgow from my house. Can you
and then get really sad about it?
And then I get really sad about it. Can you imagine if you and I ever actually met together, like the same? I think the world would probably split. It'd be like Matter meeting antimatter. Everything kind of go, the world might cease to exist.
I think, to be honest, I'm gonna have to try somehow to get there because you have a bass guitar there and I don't have an electric guitar here. And if I did have an electric guitar here, you wouldn't be happy with my choice of electric guitar.
I'd bring something with me.
Well, see, this avoids that, and fuck the airfare. It's the baggage prices that are worse than anything.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, man.
Knowing me, I just buy a new guitar over there. And Connie would say, another one?
But this one's English. It's got that British sound.
It sounds just like the Beatles. Listen. Well, actually, it almost be like Irish. So it sounds just like Rory Gallagher. Listen, or Thin Lizzy. Listen.
It smells of Black Sabbath.
Exactly. It smells like Birmingham. See, I said Birmingham, not Birmingham. See that? I'm starting to catch on, man.
Birmingham.
Yes, Birmingham.
Only Brummy's called Birmingham.
What does everybody else call it? Birmingham.
Birmingham.
Was
Brummy say Birmingham?
Was it the sheriff of Nottingham? Or the sheriff of Nottingham?
Nottingham.
Nottingham. Okay. You see, that's the nice thing. Knowing all these people over in the England part now in the world, I can get my pronunciation straight. I have somebody to bounce those off of.
The joy.
I know. Like I've always said, nobody in America knows how to speak English. We don't have the King's English. No, not going to happen.
I mean, you can't even say that to Americans. Sometimes I'm chatting or have chatted with people online, and I go to say something like, "Can't you use the King's English for fuck's sake?" But you don't have a king. Why would you? No, you can't.
No, well, we kind of do, but I'm not going to talk politics. Sorry, I'm not going down that road, baby. Not today.
He went there and then he ran away.
I wrote a song about it. Go listen to it. Well, there you go.
You got halfway there and you ran away. Talking about songs that you've written, though.
Yes.
We have a few tracks to play. We're getting on with time. The next one is from an Icebox Studio artist, is it not?
It is. It is from the amazing Gurn Blanston and her fantastic band, The Funkymuffins.
And the track, I love the way that you say the track title, see. So I need
Trip Hop Doodly Doo.
Doodly doo, doodly doo. You know who you remind me of when you say it like that? Bender from Futurama.
Yeah,
doodly doo, doodly doo. I don't know what it is. It sounds exactly like Bender.
Oh man! Can you imagine when I sat down and drummed this song up? I go, okay, I'm going to be 3 different people.
I can't imagine it, but I love it.
I can do it. Go, Gurn.
Bear with me for a second.
All right.
Luckily, I've listened to this before, so I can run away from it.
Okay. We shall stay here and groove along to the beat.
It's just a trip hop doodly-doo. 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 You're walking and on some shaky legs. Down to the grocery store, $7 for freaking eggs. You can't even cook your breakfast without taking out a loan. You gotta call your congressman and get his ass on the phone. So he started talking and listened to me complain. I could hear his knees knocking as he tried to explain.
I told you, but fucking Just Eat. You have it's not Just Eat over there. Grubhub.
Yeah, we do.
You know, Grubhub.
Yep, we do.
Same thing is called Just Eat over here.
Okay.
And one of the fucking riders ran over my foot last week.
I got the best thing in the boom smack in the chat box from Booms. He wants a song where Cluckzilla goes to Washington and flattens everything. God, that's genius, man. I wish I would have thought of that.
I think he just wants Cluckzilla to go to Washington and flat everything. Fuck this up.
Yep. Could be. Hey, now Jen Cat's here.
Everybody will make it slowly. Now our stuff's fixed, I need to get on to doing that about what's the word? Assimilating her.
The assimilation? Like the Borg? I could lip sync.
Oh, we could have done a live music video there, recorded it. Next time.
Baby.
Baby.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, that's what you're saying, isn't it? Baby.
Actually, it was like, wow, scream, wow, baby. That's what it was.
It is baby, though, yeah.
Yes, it is
Just
baby.
making sure. Oh, baby.
Oh, baby.
Could have been like, oh, baboons.
Next time, if I decide to do a song about zoo animals, we'll do that. Should I keep on my list? I only had 4 topics, so it was actually kind of thin this week.
I know. Somehow we've still managed it 90 minutes through the show without having to think.
I always think we should ask the people in the chat box, what do you guys want to talk about next time?
Well, we're going to be talking about record next time.
Exactly. Well, I meant after that. I mean, because if this show is going to last us like another 20 years, right? We have to have enough topics to make it every Wednesday. So it's going to be.
You're anticipating that I'm going to last another 20 years here.
Dude, I'm 40 years older than you. What are you worried about?
Oh, I mean, I'm already quite confident that you will probably outlive me.
Yeah, I know. Yes.
I mean, I am. If we're being honest, right, I get ill because something exciting happens, so I haven't got a long life ahead of me.
Well, maybe not.
Because I seem to throw myself into excitement 24/7.
And that's the thing. I'm totally the antithesis of that. The more pressure we get, the more chill I am, baby. It's like, yeah, whatever. Darren says that Darren enjoyed Gurn Blanston and the Funkymuffins. On behalf of Gurn and the entire band, thank you very much. I'll pass that along to Gurn next time I see her down here in Icebox. I will do that. But what was I talking about?
I thought, isn't she already there? Isn't she in the cupboard or something?
No. On the camera, all you see is all the guys that work in the studio here behind me, the axes. Everybody's here and accounted for. Well, one's upstairs in the Nook. That's a whole different thing. So,
is anyway, that your special Nook guitar for special Craig and guitar moments?
It actually is. It's probably the prize guitar of the fleet. It's my my Taylor T5Z Hawaiian Koa guitar, and it is gorgeous. But that one does acoustic and electric. It's a slimline hollow body. So if I want to do acoustic, I've got that. If I want to do metal, I can. So it covers. It's the only guitar up there. So if I'm writing something, it can do about everything. So, yup, fantastic.
I see.
But my other things here were like, dealings with club owners. Did you have good dealings? Because some pretty crappy club owners too. Not picking on you guys as a group. Or dealings with management. Or any horror stories about traveling to gigs.
Ooh.
Yes. Go ahead, Tizz. Let us enlighten us.
I mean, my biggest issue is I am horrifically travel sick all the time. I get seasick on a canal barge. I get motion sickness on a train
in the shower.
Yeah, like I'm not good. I get travel sick if I turn around too quickly.
That's not good. No.
So when you're in, and especially my biggest issue with traveling is I need wind, and I would rather, even in the middle of winter, be riding in a car with all the windows down than in a car with the heating blasting. If I've got like air conditioner heating blowing in my face from a car heater, I instantly feel sick straight away, 100%. As soon as warm air touches my face from a car aircon, I feel sick instantly, straight away. Wow. So obviously, when you're traveling in a band of, especially when we were doing the jam and we had to hire a minibus to take us all, and they're all drinking and smoking and eating, and you've got all the smells and whatever, I was the worst at almost the first kind of 20 minutes that we turned up at a venue. Every time I would just go and lock myself in the toilet. I was so ill, unbelievably ill. So all of my journeys anywhere were nightmares. My head was in a bag, pretty much all of them, whilst everyone else is having fun and getting ready and preparing. I was vomiting 24/7. 24/7 is a slight exaggeration, but
how about 12? 12 out of 7. Yeah.
12 hours. Well, I mean, at the gig, luckily, I haven't played a gig for 24 hours, 7 days a week yet. You never know, though.
You're working on that, like a marathon.
You never know. So I think some people will have probably had like worse sounding, like their train never turned up and their car broke down on the way and someone stole their drum kit or whatever. But I would literally say every single one of my journeys to a gig, unless it was local and I could do it on foot, which I have done. I once walked from Manchester to Salford to avoid, which will mean nothing to you, Craig, but anyone else that knows anything about England. I walked from Manchester to Salford to avoid catching a train. I've walked from Birmingham to Salford as well to avoid having to, and we're talking like 10-mile trips or more.
Wow.
Very, very long distances to avoid. I've walked for a whole day to get to a gig that was on the next day. Because to avoid how sick I would have felt otherwise.
Not good. Yeah, one thing, when I stopped playing out live, I do not miss living up here in Minnesota in the States. It's cold here. I mean, we get like the winters, and like at night, the wind chills are like, 30 below zero, which I'm not sure what that translates to in Celsius. But, you get done playing a gig, like a Friday or Saturday, you get done, you get out in the parking lot about 2:30 in the morning, you're tearing down the lights and the production, and you're running all that out to the truck and everything. And it's snowing like crazy, wind is blowing and you're freezing and you're sweaty from the gig. Right. So you're surprised you're not getting pneumonia because you're soaked to head to toe from that. And, I don't really miss that part of it. I mean, I was never in a band that had a road crew, never. I had our sound tech Chuck was kind of like also the guitar tech / drum guy / bass guy. If something went wrong, he was there to fix it. So, I mean, fantastic fella to have around. But, we always schlepped our own gear, man, for 20 years, and that was always a joke in the band. When are the roadies going to show up? We start laughing. Yeah, roadies. Right. It's pretty funny. Yeah, they're different. Yeah.
It just reminded me of a cool thing, and I can't remember what band it was that did it, but they did it a few years ago. They approached me asking for bands that they wanted to, and I never went through with the deal just because I wasn't in the place to help them out. But they were looking for bands to go on their tour with them. And I'd kind of turned around and went, okay, you know what's coming next. And they're like, yeah, paying the bands, we know. And I'm like, yeah, because you've come to me, they're independent bands. I'm not going to guarantee to pull a big crowd at every venue. And they're like, no, well, we thought about this. And obviously, we're touring, so we need petrol in our car. And I'm like, yeah, I understand. And like, so what we thought, because we're touring, instead of getting a whole roadie crew with us that we've then got to drag around with us everywhere, and we've got to pay them and we've got to feed them and whatever. And I'm like, yeah, instead of giving the bands ticket share, they're going to be our roadies at each venue. So they go to the venue, they set up all the gear, they get everything set up, they're waiting for us. Okay. When our van turns up, you get all the stuff out, you help us set up, right? And we'll pay you as the roadies. So you've got paid for the gig. Sorry, you won't get ticket money because we can't be sure how many people are going to turn up or whatever.
Right, yeah.
But you've been covered for doing the gig. You've got a bit of experience on the side. You've played with a bigger band. I thought that was a really cool idea. A good way round an awkward situation.
Yeah, I can see that. Yep.
I just thought it was a very cool thing. Just going by what you mentioned there.
Yeah. It's funny. There was a couple other topics I was going to bring up, but... one of them was, how do you feel about tip buckets at gigs? Like when you play out live, do you put a little pail out in front that says tips on it in case you want to tip the band? Or do you just take the money that the booker gives you? And back in my day, that was not a thing. Nobody put tip buckets out. We took whatever money we got from the booker and that was it. So, how do you feel about tips? You feel like you're begging, or you feel like it's a nice thing, people really enjoy what you do?
I think it's got to be that there's a lot of different relevancies that could happen. Like if you went to I'm trying to think Adele's latest gig and you've paid £300 for a ticket, and she puts a tip bucket on the front of the stage, you're going to tell her to piss off.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that kind of stuff is out of the order, out of it. If it's, I'd have to be real picky about it, and I'd have to look at the band and what situation they're in. To too many extents. Like, say if I went to a festival, so there's when Glastonbury happens in the UK, there's a BBC introducing stage that's always unsigned independent bands. Now, if you know, fucking The Verve or something played the main stage with a tip bucket, I'd be like, what the fuck? If the introducing bands popped a bucket out, I'd be like, okay, fair play. You need a bit of kickstart money going on. If it was a festival kind of situation or like a long day gig for you know, a venue or whatever, so they've started at 2 and they're going through till 10, so you're paying quite a bit of cash in ticket money, but those kind of things are designed to be subsidized by the food and catering and stuff like that goes on as well.
Right.
I'd be pissed off because, you know, you're paying a bit of cash for it. And any open mic or free night that you go to, yeah, of course, put a tip bucket out, 100%.
Well, for sure.
But yeah, it would really depend on any small venue that's doing, like, you know, cheap tickets and just trying to make a way and get a bit of a foot in the door. Yeah, perfectly fine, no problems. If you're playing something like the O2 Academy, or the Hydro or something like that, get fucked. You know, you're making enough money off that. Don't be an idiot. So yeah, it's all with relevance. You can't take. I mean, it's almost like, let's bring in the milkman analogies again. It's like me going, right. So I get a base wage, right? So I'd see that as what I get from the venue for off the door, right? So that's my little ticket money. That's my base wage, right?
Yeah.
Now, if I perform specifically good, I get bonuses. Now, I'd see that as when you're bringing a lot of people in the venue. So quite a lot of, you don't hear this much these days, but a lot of venues used to do your part. You get your part of your tickets, and then if there's over a certain amount of capacity, you'll get a percentage of the bar. And that's because you've brought so many people in. So that's your little bonus, right?
Right. Yeah.
So it'll be like me going in, getting my base wage from the tickets, performing really well, ramming the venue out, and getting a nice big bonus on top of that, and then turning around and going, "Can you give me a $5?" Just like that doesn't sit well with me. You know what I mean? If you can't do shit like that, that's taking the piss. I think that's the perfect thing. As long as no one can look at you and go, "You're taking a piss a bit there," I think you're fine. You, like, Metallica should never have a fucking tip bucket in front of them. Black Sabbath should never have a tip bucket in front of them. That's fact. And if they put it there, you'd think they're taking the piss. Whereas, you know, if I ever saw you on stage, like, starting to perform like the Cluckzilla stuff, it's all brand new or stuff. You know?
Oh yeah.
And you're just trying to kind of put together the money to start making the stage performance bigger and getting that kind of rock opera kind of feel to it.
Right. Yeah.
And you're starting just doing it like on your one as a guitar and whatever. Then I see that as your kind of Kickstarter, your Patreon account, you know, that kind of thing.
Yep.
Whereas if you were putting on rock operas and you had that same tip bucket at the front, I'd kick it over, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, it's an awkward one. It's an awkward one. The other side is like, I'd probably say, and there's a difficult. I find it very difficult when a band benefits off doing something in the name of charity. I find because a lot of bands will like perform a charity benefit gig of some standard. And that is going to help them in their career. Or quite a few bands will do like, oh, this is our track and all the proceeds will go to cancer research or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that track they've put in the middle of their nice new album that costs £10. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff doesn't sit well personally with me. if I'm going to be obvious about it, I'm going to do stuff like XRP when we're like XRP skint and we need to pay for our server this year, so we're having a Zerpathon. That kind of blatant, obvious kind of stuff. If a band turned around and went, you know, their tip bucket was on the front of the stage and it said, "We need £300 for a new amp for Michael."
Right? Yeah.
You know. Whereas we're going to make this track and give like the 300 quid we make to cancer research, but we know that all you people buying this track is going to shoot up us, our band as a whole, up the algorithm on Spotify, which is I look at some bands and I'm like, why that charity doesn't make sense. You know, it doesn't sit well with me. You get people that like have been recovered from an illness or something and will donate to that charity. That's a bit different. But like random bands just picking random charities to make a random charity single, I find real awkward myself.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I've never really been in that situation. You know, I don't really go out to clubs that much anymore, but I'm almost like, I mean, I almost see it like, it's like if I like the band a lot and they play really well, I should give them a tip because they're really good. Or if you're not that good, I'm not going to give you a tip. I mean, how does that work out? You know?
But I mean, if we're being honest, at the end of the day, what you should be doing as a band instead of that is giving something back. You know, have a range of stuff. Now, people will chuck a quid in it or $1 in a bucket, right? Well, get some Plex made up that are like 20 cents each, and you're making a little bit of money, and they're getting something in return, which one will make them want to give you money a bit more rather than just donate it. It makes both sides of the fence feel a bit better about themselves, because I also find to be in receipt of donations, even as XRP, like I don't like the fact that we have to do it. It doesn't make me feel comfortable that we have to kind of look out for handouts and stuff like that just to stay above the red line, as it were.
Right. Yep.
I don't know. Hard one to think. What do you guys think in the chat box whilst we move on to the next track? Because I think we've got 3 tracks and not enough time to play them in.
I got 2. Let me take a look.
Oh, yeah, because I did play Destroy the Moon.
You did while I was busy having my camera issues.
I don't know whether it was the right track. I just that was an accident, to be fair, because it ended up in my favorites. It was top of my favorites.
To be honest, you played the next track in the list. So you got 2 more left.
Ah, well, that's good.
So it's where we is at.
That's quite funny. So I just went to search for this next band and I still had Irian typed into the chat box. Somehow I deleted a second name but not a first. So now I've just searched for Oceanarian, which I think is a great name.
Oceanarium. Yeah, there we go.
I think that's great. Anyway, the band is actually called, Craig,
Oceansides, and the track is called Hold Me Back.
Yes, it is. That's what it's called, isn't it? I was that prepared, ladies and gentlemen. I was so prepared.
Hey, you were right there, boy.
Just right now.
Yep. See? Rock.
Sound of the sea, when I'm not cheap, smell of salty air, and heavy word, sound of your grin, the touch of my skin, smell of your hair, look like I wouldn't care. Now I find myself on the edge of the cliff, wondering if there might be some sort of us. Cause should I end this all and jump into the sea? Try to figure it out, satisfy myself, such a time.
Oh, true. I'm not weak-hearted yet. Every day when I go to the gym and I walk out after I'm done with my workout, I go to the guy at the front counter. Well, you didn't kill me today. You know, nice try. My heart hasn't exploded yet. Okay, so if you're not going to suggest that much in the chat here for a topic in 2 weeks, I'm going to go stuff like, do you like Hot Wheels cars? Or, I don't know, or Matchbox better? Or, what's your favorite frozen pizza? Or, I don't know.
If I tell you what, if they don't pick one, if this stays, I'm going to start asking ChatGPT to come up with shows.
You know something? For as much as we pick on AI, there isn't actually a good use for it. That is a great. I love that idea.
You should probably do it as well. But
I think that is wonderful.
Actually, yeah. Let's not get to. Let's see what he comes up with first.
Thank you, Wrecker. Dogs or cats? We'll save that for 2 weeks.
Well, this is the one thing that we might actually be properly divided on. Actually thinking about it.
Well, you're cat people. Oh no, hang on. But cat has dogs. See what I did there? Cat has dogs. That was
Cat
fun.
has dogs.
I'm a dog person.
I'm definitely a cat person.
I know. I'm so sorry.
And it's from selfish reasons, to be fair. I ain't taking a dog going walking every day. I'm not. Cats go do it themselves. Cats go shit outside themselves. The cats don't cock their leg on your furniture.
Yeah.
I'm too house proud to have a dog. I'm a very house proud person.
I get you.
I do like dogs. I'm not against dogs, but I don't think I could own one myself. That was Hold Me Back from Oceansides here on XRP Radio. We've got 12 minutes left of the show, and we have to finish quite on time because I know I'm keeping Wrecker up because we've got to do a quick sound check once this is all over.
Yep.
And then we can officially say whether he will be here next week or not. I say he. Wrecker is more than one person, but Alan from Wrecker will definitely be here. Don't know if we're going to get anyone else. We're going to play the brand new track from Wrecker. We might even be able to play the video from them, so that's quite exciting.
Yeah.
And we're going to quiz them, and we're going to do the same thing that we used to do, and we're going to have a little segment where you can ask him any question you want, because I think it's stupid for us to not do that, because that's always the funniest part of an interview, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I do have a pretty good list of questions. Some are pretty good, some are ridiculous.
I mean,
some are good and ridiculous.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Some very, very goodly ridiculous. I wanted a better sentence to say that. I let this team down, to be honest.
That's where you guys are thinking to yourself, well, I know Craig does okay talking to Tizz, but can he actually do an interview?
I know. I'm quite interested because you've already got a decent set of questions, so I might be taking a bit of a back seat here.
Yeah, it could happen. You know, like I said before, for some strange reason, it seems to be the Craig and Tizz show. I know it rhymed in the theme song that I made. I mean, you know how hard it is to get a rhyme. Well, actually, Tizz is a lot easier to rhyme than Craig, I suppose.
A lot of people missed our brand new theme tune as well. Should we give them the theme tune quickly again?
There's 3 of them, man. Pick one.
I'm gonna. No, I want to play the first because I'm gonna leave on the polka.
You're gonna save that. Oh, okay. So you want that? Who are the men of mystery? This
is pure genius. This is. Here we go.
So here we are again. Thanks for stopping by to listen to the good man and that old annoying guy. Do you ever wonder? Do you wanna see? Who are these men of mystery? Tizz lives in Scotland and runs XRP, a broadcasting legend, I'm sure you'll agree. Craig lives in a studio in the USA, working on music most every day. They come together at this time each week, a wondrous pairing of these two great geeks. So stop in the chat box and say hello. And listen in wonder to the Craig and Tizz show.
Love the abrupt finish.
I
That's
listened
going to
to
throw
it.
me off every week, that is.
I could have ended it on the beat, but I didn't. I did that on the end. It's like
you could have just chucked a bit of reverb at the end of it, so it didn't just trail. You could have done a little fade out or something. I don't know.
I'll have a new one for you by next Wednesday.
I love it though. The worst thing I have like a frame by frame. I know the exact video that I want to make to go to that. I probably don't have the skills to make it, but I know every frame. I've got the thing where our little cartoon faces pop up at the end where it goes Craig and your face pops up and Tizz show, and then we look happy and then yeah. I know everything that I want. I want it. It'd be like Tizz and then I pop up and then the flag of Scotland comes behind me. I've got the whole thing planned in my head. Like I know exactly how it's gonna look, and I know I don't have the skills to pull it off, but I'm gonna give it a go.
Now, see, if we were smart, we put a tip bucket out. No, I'm kidding.
Well, I mean, for those that don't know, XRPRADIO is completely run out of my bank account and the wonderful donations of our lovely listeners. There is a donate button here on XRPRADIO if you do fancy using it, or you can shoot us some cash at paypal.me/XRPRADIO. I should say that more often because I had to become a milkman to keep XRP afloat. That's a true story. That is actual fact. I had to become a milkman. I was only working with XRP stuff. I was producing and I was marketing, and then the cost of living happened and people didn't have money for those things. So I had to become a milkman to keep XRP afloat. That is a fact. So all donations are more than welcome.
I had to become a milkman.
If we're honest with you, yeah. Small and or large, you can donate 50p, you can donate 150p. Or more, I don't mind. That's as tip bucket as we get because, as I explained earlier, don't like doing it. Shit, it's a shit thing to have to do.
It is.
But if you want to keep us going, press a little bit. We're right at the end of the show, Craig.
We are, aren't we? Boy, today went by pretty fast, if you ask me.
It went really quickly, and the worst thing is, I know we spoke about a lot of stuff, but I couldn't be very specific about what. I'm gonna have to go back and check out what we covered. And we did gigs and stuff.
We did gig. I mean, we hit everything on my little cheat sheet, so that's cool.
That's a good start, at least.
So, yeah, because it's one of those where last night I messaged Tizz and I go, I can't think of a thing to talk about on Wednesday, and he's like, I really can't either. And I went, uh-oh, time to see down here in the studio. I have a little TV tray that I break out, and I have this little yellow pad of paper, and that's my writing space down here is TV tray and a pit. I figured I better start coming up with something. So I got 4. So it seemed like we stretched it out good enough to make the whole show. So that's cool.
That's very cool. It's very cool.
Yeah.
I thought just before we go, well, to finish up, I thought we'd introduce people into what they may be getting an ear on next week. We do have a brand new track from Rekka that we're going to play for the first time in this show next week. We're also going to have at least Alan from Rekka in the virtual studio with us, and we're going to be quizzing him. So we'd love you to all come back and have a chat with us. That's all pending that we get a good sound in about 5 minutes time. When we pull him into the stream. So do come back if you like this music, and you can get to know Rekka and you can get to know Alan, which I think would be cool. So we're going to finish right on the line with I Can't Wait, because I thought that would be a good tune from Rekka, because I can't wait till next Wednesday when we get to interview him.
I see what you did there. Nice.
I thought that was quite clever. And then then after that, we're going to play the second of the brand new jingles, but then we're just going to be gone because I need to be gone because Rekka needs to probably also go to sleep like I do.
Yes.
So there we go. That's what we're doing. Do you have any last words, final words for our lovely listeners?
Just my usual. Thank you so much for being here. It's always a pleasure to have you folks in the chat box and to listen to this madness that we broadcast once a week. Have a wonderful week, and we will see you next time.
It's been a pleasure to entertain you for the evening. If you like this, then come back next week. If you don't like it, well, come back next week anyway. We don't care anymore. This is I Can't Wait from Wrecker. And do stay tuned right to the end because you get to hear the all-new themey tune. See you later, everybody. Wow, good show.
It was very nice.
I have to write myself a little checklist for the show
Yeah,
and work out the timing for when I have to start things.
right.
I think it's something that's a bit too much to start.
Last week's was easier because we'd queued up all those birthday events, so like the hard work was done way more in advance. If you start, I noticed this when I did the show with the old man on Saturday. It takes a while for one screen to like get going.
Yeah. That's funny. You think it would be instantaneous, but I suppose it's just servers switching over and stuff.
It literally it needs to contact all the sites that it streams.
All the handshakes and stuff. Yeah. I get that.
So you get the Facebook, preparing, connected, Instagram, preparing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, next Wednesday I'll go back to regular time too.
They do.
So
that's
yeah. So it'll be 4 to 6 for me again.
Indeed. On that note, as we come into the end of the track, for all the people on our visual stream today, thank you for watching us, you weird people. Next time, if you do join us in the chat box. It's right there. Head to xrpradio.co.uk/chat. I'm back on Saturday. We're both back on Wednesday. It's been great. Press the button. Okay, there's going to be a video that it ends with.
Right.
So
thanks for watching.
Deal with